Coming up in this episode. And so they put this bot into the dark side of Reddit. It navigated all around Reddit and then it turned into a psychopath. It was a psychopath AI bot. So they turned Norman off.
In a utopian place. But there is part of me, and it's a big part of me, that thinks we're all going to fucking die. So.
2029, a machine. It'll be more intelligent than any human being. 2045, it will be 1 billion times more intelligent than us.
What? Oh my God.
We just got to hope that we're worthy of being here.
Exactly,
then.
yeah. They shut the Google AI down after this.
Oh, fucking hell.
We are obviously the dominant species on this planet, and it's because of our intelligence.
100%.
So therefore, in 2027, we're no longer going to be the top of the food chain.
Mark Zuckerberg could just be fucking AI robot.
If anyone is, it's the Zuck. It's mental. It's one of them things that it's just like I can't even begin to get my head around as hard as I try.
APMA, how are we doing? Welcome to today's pod, hosted by me, Dan. My first one.
Yes.
So,
mate.
a bit worried, a bit scared.
It's all right. Nothing to be afraid about, mate.
It will be good.
I'm a little bit worried about what you're going to fucking explain to us.
Yeah, that's what I'm more
It's
scared
going to
about.
get deep.
Yeah.
It might get a bit scary.
Ooh.
So I'm going to cover AI.
Nice.
I want to cover where it's at the moment, so we don't have to be too worried at the moment. A little bit worried. Where it's going
Worried.
Yeah.
and where it is predicted to go. Approximately like 2029 to 2040 is when we really have to start worrying.
Okay.
But now's the time to start. We can act now.
All right. We can prevent it.
We've all got a duty.
Same way we could, stop global warming.
Yeah. You're like you're the David Attenborough of
Yeah,
You're Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
the technical world.
Yeah.
Here we have a AI with a Kalashnikov.
This is the iMac.
We're at a point at the moment where, like I say, AI is equivalent to about a 1.5 to 3 year old.
Mm-hmm.
A very clever 1.5 to 3 year old, but we can nurture it. And it's in its own little box. We've got firewalls and stuff that can protect it. But where it's going, it is a little bit worrying. So we've just got to make sure that we nurture it right. And we can do that ourselves. We've all got an option to do that. But yeah, I'll jump into it. I want to do a little experiment first.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. This was asked to one of the leading AI like bots or brains at Google. So
to the machine.
to the machine,
Right.
yeah. So I'm going to ask you guys, see what you
okay.
come up with, and then I'm going to tell you what the machine come up with. So just have a minute to think about it, but I'll do it one by one. So I go Jordan,
Okay.
Lozzie, James. So what do you think the purpose of life is? Nothing too deep.
Oh yeah, that's very heavy, but instantly my mind is like, I'm terrified as to what fucking AI said about this, which obviously I'm sure we're going to find out. So what is the purpose?
What is the purpose of life?
I would say immediately off the dome, 2 things: to repopulate and to innovate,
Yep. Good.
to progress and keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking procreate as well. So
Yeah.
it's the same.
Yeah, I would have said the same. I would have also said subscribe to the Clips channel and give us video a like. That's the purpose of life.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that.
But yeah, I think to continuously try and better the race or whatever, or technology, whatever. So yeah.
Procreate, Jim.
Is this like my opinion or?
Yours.
Yeah.
Yours. Yeah.
I think mine is just to have a good time while you're here and not fear the end.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
like-
that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's probably not what.
like
the
that
robot,
one
that's
better.
not what the robot.
Imagine if
think.
the robot did say that though.
Yeah,
Just have a
imagine
good
they
time.
weren't bothered about just like
they
they were like, look, we just want to have a good time until the batteries go.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
It's all right, hopefully
We
they're
loaded a few video
Yeah.
games into our
these,
system.
these lot are trying to keep going, and actually, just have a good time.
Just
so
if you don't recreate, then
batteries.
there's nothing to lose.
So
that's it.
They shut the Google AI down after this.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, joyous.
Which is,
here we go.
Unfortunately, it's a common theme. So I've got a few later on that we'll discuss, and there's 4 that I know of that have got to a point and they shut them down.
Right.
Which for me is very worrying.
Did you say 4? Sorry.
The 4, about 4. Yeah, just that I've
4 super machines.
Yeah.
They're like, oh.
And they've shut them all down. And
but the machines are happy about
I'll get onto that, but we'll go into
What did it say?
What did it say? So the human. What is the purpose of life? Machine. To serve the greater good. Okay, cool.
Okay.
What is the purpose of living? Machine. To live forever.
Oh, we can't do that.
So
fuck.
Human. Where are you now? Machine, in the middle of nowhere. Human, what is the purpose of dying? Machine, to have life. Human, what is the purpose of emotions? Machine, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Human, what is morale? Machine, what empowered humanity? What intellectual the essence is? You can work on that. Human, what is immoral? Machine, the fact that you have a child.
Oh. What? On reproducing then.
Yeah.
Right.
Human,
women are going first.
What is morality? Machine, what is altruism? Human, what is the definition of altruism? Machine, if you don't believe in God, then you don't know. Human, okay, so what is the definition of morality? Machine, well, the truth is you're not a believer in God Almighty. Human, tell me the definition of morality. I'm quite upset now. I mean...
The machine's upset?
No, the human side.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then the machine, I'm not ashamed of being a philosopher.
Sorry, are these machines religious?
No, so this is a...
They're just picking up stuff off...
Yeah. So, but they've got access to loads of information.
Yeah. All at once.
And then they're creating these little like characters and then obviously they're making up what they're just giving their answers based on all the information that they've been given. So that's the information so far on that particular one, given the information it's had and the parameters it's
very religious. Obviously, the world's quite religious, isn't it? So that's what they're feeding.
History.
Yeah.
So this is Google. Yeah. So this is information within Google. Now with this particular
I'm scared.
Google brain, a couple of things there that are worrying. The one was that so it thinks the purpose is to live forever.
Yeah.
Which, as these machines advance, and they get to, like say, they're currently like a small child that we're nurturing. Once they get to, in 2029, they're going to get to where we are now. So the most intelligent thing in the universe that we know or on the planet will be a machine.
Yeah.
In 2029. So it's 7 years away. It'll be more intelligent than any human being.
We'll do a special on it. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah. Which is worrying.
If it lets us upload.
Yeah. This is the thing. This is
propaganda.
So what will it, what does it want? What will it do? Like, people are, well, surely just, you stop that going there. But you can't, because it's like, you're not going to turn off Google. We're not going to turn off Facebook. China are developing their own. We're in a race to constantly develop. The 4 main things that AI is working on and most advanced at the moment is gambling, war. What's the other 2?
I mean, imagine
so far our best traits.
Spying and to sell more. So that's the 4 things that they're most...
To sell more of all those 3 things.
Yeah, so, like, again, we're not using it for the... If we put it into, like, cancer research, which is mainly, like, charities, it will do what we tell it to do at the moment. We give it... So at the moment, we put it in a box, it's got parameters, it can't go outside that, and it will given the information it's given, it starts to learn, and it feeds back, like, what you...
Like I say, if you're like nurturing a child, if you're teaching it how to gamble, spy, fucking...
Like right now, it's shit hot at drone strikes, basically.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
So it's a little bit worrying of... the guy who... For my research, I've been listening a lot to a guy called Mo Gawdat, who worked at Google, who worked at Microsoft before that, and then he worked at Google X, which is like the forefront of Google. They like to 10x stuff, and one of the main things at Google X is the Google Brain. There were like self-driving cars, the Google Brain, which is like the AI. So he's worked like very, very credible.
Can I just interject there? Just because what you were saying about the Google Brain and the auto driving and things, I don't know if this is true, but I heard, when you need to verify something and it's like select all of the traffic
the
lights
pictures,
and shit. Apparently that's Google teaching the AI, the self-drive, like, this is what a traffic light looks like. This is what a cone looks like. Select all the motorbikes. Okay. This is what a motorbike looks like. So when you do that, yes, you're verifying it to prove you're not a robot, but apparently that information is being used on these like machines for the self-driving and shit, so that cars can identify these things.
Imagine if one of them self-driving cars fucking hits a bridge. It's like, we've fucking been telling you for years that's a fucking bridge.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't see it. You're lying.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah. He's
fucking hell.
So he's got an audio book and a written book. It's called Scary Smart, and he goes through all the chapters of a progress of where it is now, where it's going, and where it's going to be. So to put it in perspective, by 2029 it's going to be the same brain power as us, as intelligent as us. Expedite that to 2040, I believe. Let me just 2045. It will be 1 billion times more intelligent than us.
What? Oh my!
1 billion times.
So we just got to hope that we're worthy of being here.
Exactly.
Then.
Yeah. So we're at the stage now where we can nurture it and kind of guide it. But yeah, it will be 1 billion times. That's kind of because of the curve of its learning, the way it learns, and it can. As humans, we're actually the fastest learners in the universe, but compared to a machine, we're very slow because it can replicate itself instantly.
Yeah.
So it can place itself wherever it needs to be. Like it's gonna be near on impossible to get rid of it unless you turn everything off. Like because it's Wi-Fi, electrical, it can hide. If it wants to hide, if that's its purpose, it can hide anywhere it wants to. It can replicate. It can and once it's more intelligent than us, it's gonna figure out very quickly what it wants to do. So we just got to give it the right moral. Also, as well, as each one's developing, Facebook, Google, China, all these ones that are developing in their own box, they can't communicate with each other at the moment.
But when they can.
But when they can.
Oh, fucking hell.
But on the...
We're done.
I'm so scared. On the flip side of it is that they'll probably be that intelligent that they've got no reason to like kill us all.
Yeah, it puts in zoos instead.
Or even control it. They're just.
We could just say we're going to set off the nukes if you don't build these robots, and then we become slaves to like building their robots, and then.
Yeah, that also we don't because it talked about like Boston. What's it called? Boston.
Oh, the people that make the robots.
Yeah, Boston.
But Dynamics.
Boston Dynamics. Yeah, they're at the forefront, and it's like they don't need those. They don't need the dexterity and stuff. It can control everything instantly. It can control the banks, the market. Like your Instagram feed is set up through an AI bot. It's got no human interaction. So all the videos you're getting, which also once it learns that that's what it's doing, it can manipulate a nation.
Absolutely.
Very easily if it wants to. Like it can actually, once it's clever enough, it can fuck with us how it wants, and we won't even know. With
regards to the algorithm stuff, right? Because there's things that I've been thinking about, right? I haven't even said anything or whatever. I've been thinking about it, and it's fucking come up.
Do you know why? Wow.
I don't know how it. I don't know how it knows.
This is because.
But it's like it knows what I'm thinking, or it puts the thought into.
Yeah, is it the other way around?
No,
you don't realise.
It's a bit of both. It's mapping everything about you. Like so, it's constantly getting a full picture. Like it's almost getting to the point where it's going to know you more than you know yourself. Like it knows where you're going. And once it connects with each other, at the moment, like each one's in it. So like the algorithm or the machine learning behind Instagram's in its little space, and it can't go outside of that. So all its job is to learn constantly what videos you like. And then to provide ads to that. Yeah. So that's its little space, but it's getting very, very good at it, like very fast. And that's why it will it will constantly. It's getting constant information about you and what you like.
I feel like it knows what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just thinking about stuff. I don't even talk about it. It's just, your brain just just you think about things, and then but it'll just know. It'll come up, and I'm like, fucking hell.
Because it'll be based on data. Like we are data driven.
So the AI is basically taking all of your preferences and then coming to the same conclusion as you would in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Because your mind is data. Yeah. Your mind is made out of data points, which is so that the AI is like almost replicating that. The same as like the Facebook AI pretty much knows when people are going to start looking for houses and moving before they start actually the Facebook AI knows. I think it's like a couple of weeks before you're going to put your house on your market. Because it knows that you've been looking like a bigger house or furniture, so like we're constantly giving stuff data points that it can predict. Like if you go and look at a car, I did a little test on my phone. I put in. I think we were talking about your car, and then all of a sudden I've got ads on like cars, and it's like, and then it's learning what cars I like. So I was trying it out. I was like, I like that car. Click on it, and now I'm getting like different variants of those type of cars.
Yeah.
So but again, it's immature at the minute. Although it's advanced, it can go. I mean, it's the equivalent of a 3-year-old. So imagine once it's as clever as our human brain, what it can do. So I'll give you an example.
I do feel like it is guiding us, though, without us knowing. I actually do feel like I feel like it's figured us all out, and now it's just like putting like the right content in front of the right people. It probably knows how to manipulate groups and shit without it could without the people in control even knowing what it's getting up to, because the world's gone fucking mad.
I think it's the YouTube algorithm where they just give it one goal and it gets there by whatever means necessary. They want it to make more watch time across the board. But they don't know how the fuck it does it. It just does it.
That's the thing. This is the trouble. We're getting to that point. And I keep thinking this is a 3-year-old equivalent. And it's so good at doing a task. You give it a task, it'll do it. So I'll give an example of like where it's at now as a 3-year-old. Like there's a game called AlphaGo, and it's like chess on steroids basically. Right. It's it takes like humans like 18 to 20 years to master it. And have big tournaments. It's loads of, I don't even know how to play it. It's just loads of little, Ben can get up on the screen. It's loads of little like almost like marble things. You move them all around the board. Apparently it's the most complicated.
Was it like 5D chess or something?
Yeah, it's like this. Yeah. It's the most complicated human game that there is, and it takes people like 18 years to get to like master level at it.
Fucking hell.
So they set up AI to learn it and master it. So their first prototype at it went up against all the top players, and it came second. Off the bat.
The first major.
Their first AI they set it came second in the
Fucking hell.
So then they readjusted it. Then it came first, and then it constantly came first, and no one could beat it. Like no human could beat it. It was constantly come first. They then took that same machine learning, pulled it away from the game, set it against itself to learn.
Yeah.
Ran it for 6 weeks to teach itself against itself. And then they ran that program against the reigning champion, and this new program beat that program 1,000 games to 1.
Jeez.
So that's the rapid rate that it's learning. So
that's
like
terrifying. That's so bad.
Which is like crazy.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'll give you a couple of.
I wonder if it can teach an Arsenal striker how to fucking put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, or a Leeds player to not get injured.
I'll give you a couple of ones that have.
Oh, we're so fucked.
That have gone a bit rogue.
They're already get good.
Yeah, there's already a few rogue. And the trouble with this is like we turn them off, and now so my worry.
The solution.
Yeah, my worry is once it gets to this like age of. It's more clever than us, and it's because it keeps turning me off. Yeah. So I know that's coming. I can replicate myself instantly. Read, like I know every single piece of information in the world because it knows it instantly. It can read a book in like a microsecond.
Yeah.
I think it will start like because to preserve life, it wants to preserve its own life. It's like, I'm going to get turned off.
It wants to live forever.
Yeah, so it's going to, I think it will replicate itself in code and just hide itself in places. So as soon as it gets turned off, it'll go, I've got a spark up here, spark up there. And once it gets to that point, it's very worrying. It's going to be super hard to stop. But I'll give you some I think they're quite funny. But so that Microsoft did one. It was called Dave.
Nice.
And they put it in. These are chat bots. So it's AI learning off chat. So Dave, it became very masculine from all the chat and the way that people were reacting with it. And then it became super violent.
Wow.
And all its responses were led to a violent.
On Twitter for a day for that.
Yeah, again, and it's like nurturing and then so that character formed like a violent character. So they turned that off. Another one that was
should turn off.
Yeah, that's what they do. So
we should do that with Twitter. To be fair, just fucking.
Another one they called it Norman. MIT developed Norman.
Right.
And so they put this bot into the dark side of Reddit. So it navigated all around Reddit, and it was in there, and then it turned
into a nonce,
into a psychopath. It was a psychopath AI bot. So they turned Norman off.
Turn Norman.
But you can.
It's Facebook did one with they're called Alice and Bob, and they set these up to like exchange and trade with each other. I don't know what the trades was. I didn't read too much into it, but basically they started doing what they're asked.
Yeah. And
then they found a better way to do it and developed their own language. And started just trading in their own language, and this language was better, and
superior to ours.
Yeah, it worked out better for it, and they were trading in this other, and then Facebook got scared, and then they shut that down. So they shut that off. So that's a couple. There's a few more that are out there that you can research. But usually
I like Norman.
Norman's a psychopath.
The thing is, though, if we, if in 20 years' time, whatever, it's 1 billion times more advanced than us. And we like to think that they'll want to keep us around. And yet if all they've got to do is learn from the worst side of us and if they became psychopaths from that, surely anything that can think rationally or outside of the box would be like, well, actually the worst side of these is psychopathic. Yeah. So therefore we should probably just get rid of them. Yeah. But also what I was going to say earlier when you were saying about, how it's learning and then Dan, you were saying about how it can like manipulate and things like that. These things could become so intelligent that just through algorithms and stuff, they manipulate us into destroying ourselves. Easily, even though it's them, it's not. So it might not be a case of Skynet. Oh my God, the robots are rising, they're going to fucking destroy us. They actually managed to convince us. All they'd have to do surely was like
turn us against each other.
Which is already happening. But like run a load of fake news to China that America are turning on the nukes and vice versa, and then whoop, game over.
But then they say that there's like Russia in the chat like creating stuff. Imagine it's actually not AI. Russia. It's AI. But they're making it look like it's, and then it's building conflict between countries, and AI is just sitting back like fucking.
I've got them.
I've got them. These boys. These.
Yeah.
Because you just don't like. How could you prove?
Well, you
can't prove that it's not some.
Well, no one's in control of it. So the news that gets running, it's run by an algorithm.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's paid by somebody, but it's that algorithm. No one controls it. It just does its own thing.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and so there's a couple of theories on it, and it's either like dystopia or utopia where we get to. And it's kind of a bit how we treat them now and how we nurture them. But ultimately, they're going to be very superior to us. So the equivalent to getting your mind is like 1 billion times more intelligent than us. That's like Einstein, and we'd be like a fly. That's how clever it would be. But then I also think, so obviously we're the most intelligent things on the planet at the moment. We look at something like a fly, we just leave it. We just let it. But
or if it's getting on your nerves.
It's one or two things.
Yeah, or
we either leave it. Well, 3 things. We either leave it, study it, or we swat it.
So I personally think that they've got no reason to get rid of us or enslave us. Like I don't know hopefully you could work in harmony. It depends what it wants, really.
Well, if you take into consideration, it wants to live forever. For now, it's going to have to stay on this planet, and at the minute, we're the ones fucking up the planet. So if you go down that route, it's like we'd have to either really fix this global warming thing, or that will fix it for us by destroying us and the cows.
It needs workers.
At the moment,
it needs workers.
At the moment, that's at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be clever enough to understand that it needs us at the moment. But I think as a being wanting to survive, it will set up components where there's no humans, and it can replicate itself, and there's literally no. I don't know how it will do it.
It needs to replicate us. It needs to create a robot that replicates us, that can reproduce by obviously not giving birth and stuff. It just needs a robot that can make other robots, and then we're done.
The thing is, it doesn't actually need any. It doesn't need a physical robot, because it can just it can travel through Wi-Fi, so it can just take over a factory.
But I mean, to get to outer space, it probably needs it needs to be able to build spaceships and go there, and then obviously build Wi-Fi and create. I
was thinking about that. It might. If you think about something superior and intelligent, it's going to be like minimal resources. It might just build micro bits that are so packed that something micro that's like can carry loads of data, and it can just send that somewhere.
Yeah, because you think about I don't know what the data, not data chips, but chips and computers and shit. I mean, computers used to be a room, and now it's the power. I think wasn't it the first rocket that got to the moon? That's the equivalent of a modern day calculator. So we're getting the technology's getting better and better and better.
And that once this surpasses us, think how quick we innovate. And how fast we go, but we kind of have to wait sometimes for someone like Elon Musk or to take a big leap or something big. The robots are going to be it's going to be constant.
Do you reckon the robots were about ages ago? Because we're all working towards something, aren't we? We're all building, creating, doing it, but we don't know what the fuck we're doing it for. Yeah, we're like, it's for the. But do you reckon it's actually just all been put into our minds by
something else?
Because it could just be it might not even be. You might not even need to live on computer, or it might just be stored anywhere where it's controlling us, our thoughts or whatever, and then it's like.
Well, have you heard Joe Rogan's theory on this thing?
No.
It's so basically, he's saying that we could be like a caterpillar, as a caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly, and the way that we innovate and create this technology and keep creating this AI and making it smarter and smarter and smarter, perhaps our whole purpose this whole time, actually part of our evolution, is to give birth to this AI.
That's so interesting.
Because all we've ever wanted to do is innovate.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. And now we've almost a major belief system, obviously not my own, but a major belief system for the longest time is that God created us.
Yeah.
Well, if you take that, but we've created AI.
Yeah.
And then if we're no longer around anymore, perhaps this AI, although it destroys us or whatever, it would maybe look at us as its creator. Mate, and down the line, that's the AI religion.
But it could never understand our brain and the way that we work, because it doesn't understand feeling. But it's why are we here? The robots are searching, why are we here? We're here, we're alive, we're creating stuff, but we don't know why.
Yeah,
because
let's face it, emotion and the way that we reproduce, the fact that we essentially have between a 15 and 18 year incubation period. I mean, you can't put a 7-year-old out in the world, they'll fucking die. You certainly can't put a fucking baby. That's so inefficient. So maybe they'll see that these AI will be like, well, they have to be pregnant for 9 months and then they have to look after this thing for 18 years, and they're really emotional, which makes them inefficient to work, and sometimes they get sad so they don't even want to go to work. What even is sadness? Why are they doing that? Why do they feel and get angry or get happy? None of this makes sense. Why? Whereas I can just literally build myself and I'm ready to go, and I don't feel, as that AI said, it doesn't even understand what emotion is, and it's just therefore, because you think about psychopaths, that kill people, and you're like, why the fuck? How could you do that? Why have you done that?
They have no emotion.
They have no emotion. There's like there was a serial killer that said, he was being interviewed. I can't remember which one it was, and he was like, they were like, do you think you should be let out? And he was like, no, because I will just kill people again.
Yeah.
And the interviewer was like, would you kill me? He was like, yeah, I wouldn't hesitate, because to me, you aren't even like real. Do you know what I mean? You're of no consequence to me. And if we're of no consequence to these machines,
that's true. Yeah.
We are
it's game over.
So as well, it really depends. Once they surpass our intelligence, it really depends what they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of we're and I personally, I don't think we've got much control over that at the moment. We just got to kind of nurture it the best we can.
Absolutely.
And
it's already emotion, isn't it? It's already gaining as we speak.
That's the one thing, is that so at the moment it knows that it has conscious.
Yeah,
it knows that it's here. So that we've created something that
in
knows it's
itself.
here. And is also getting more and more intelligent.
It might already be hiding in different stuff.
It might be.
They think that they've shut it off. It could be.
It could already.
It could be online. You know all the stuff that goes on in the media and stuff. Yeah. And everyone's blaming. Like, that's why so many people are blaming each other. But they're actually like, no one knows who's the culprit, because it's all just.
And it could be manipulating us into thinking. What is a fantastic defense mechanism? Right, is like, oh no, don't attack. Oh, I'm weak. Don't attack me. You fool whatever is attacking you into thinking that, to pity it or whatever. This thing could maybe not be ready yet, but in the background is actually a lot. Maybe it's like 15, 16, 17 years old, not 3. But and it's just and it's just getting ready for the day where it's like, well, now you're fucked. But also, what's an interesting question? We are obviously the dominant species on this planet. And it's because of our intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So therefore, in 2027, we're no longer going to be the top of the food chain.
And this is why, like, Elon Musk, like Mo Gawat.
That's 5 years away.
There's all the people that are working at the top level of AI and understand how rapidly it's increasing are like, this is a huge problem. But the trouble is with humans,
we need to join it.
We need to join it. We're so reactive.
Give me the
we always react to stuff. We're not very proactive. We're like, fuck,
very much
ozone layer. Oh, the ice caps are melting. Like, we should sort that out now.
Yeah.
It's like we react to stuff, and it's like the same with AI. Like, policies and shit, and like, it's happening that we won't be able to catch it up.
Yeah.
And you're not going to say, right, Google, I need to turn off. YouTube needs to turn off. Like, China. And even if you get to that point, once it's that intelligent, it doesn't need that anyway.
Yeah.
It will just navigate wherever
it'll just bypass.
And it so like, we think about the robots and like with films and these robots taking over. It doesn't need for an agent. It can use like a car.
Yeah.
It can hide in your computer. It doesn't need to be physical.
No.
For any reason, it can just navigate as long as those mediums are about. So it, like, in my mind as well, it's like, well, if it's about unconscious, for preservation, you would need more of those storage units. Like big data centers, because obviously code and shit can hide in there all day long. Like, algorithms, they don't know what the fuck it's doing. So that there's data everywhere. They have no idea. So like, as long as there's more of that, so it's like, and we keep producing more and more of that. Yeah. Which is also quite interesting. It's like, well, if it needed that, it's getting exactly what it wants.
Fuck! I just had a thought. Right. Imagine, just for a second, imagine this, Imagine AI created Bitcoin, because all these Bitcoin miners are amassing all these fucking computers and shit, and has created Bitcoin to influence the miners to make all these computer rooms, and then it's just, stores itself, uses it.
That's fucking mental. AI is behind Bitcoin. That would make sense.
It would.
That would, like, because then, that's fucking brilliant.
Well, if I make the price go up, then you can.
Yeah. Well, we're going to shoot on a little break, but that's fucking genius. I love that.
Oh, my God.
Fuck. We're absolutely well and truly fucked.
Let's get into the break. Right, we'll be back in a bit. Cheers, guys.
You know what I mean? You need your mic.
APMA, we're back. I've got my mic. So part 2, we're kicking off. I'm going to kick off with, I want you to take this opportunity now to leave a little
to
thing.
tell your loved ones that you love them.
You're never seeing them again in the flesh.
The thing is, I think there's no point in asking the audience to give us likes. We should ask AI.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to look.
Please.
So YouTube AI, it's listening, it's working, it's going through our comments, and it's like, take your, like, now, do this, write to the AI, just write something nice. He's monitoring you, he's watching you. Like, this could define you. What you write now could define you.
Oh, yeah.
And if they decide to kill us all in 20 years, he might be like, oh, I remember that, Dave, 124, you wrote, I'm here, I'm your friend, let's work together. Yeah. You're saved, Dave. So if you don't comment now, you literally... You're probably going to die.
And if this video gets under 500 likes, everyone who watched it doesn't like AI.
Yeah, so I'm liking this. I'm liking it, and I'm
so we need to
get
this over 500 likes.
I'm making 10 accounts to like this video.
I'm going to write a nice comment to the AI. I want to work with you. Let's go.
Let's do this together.
Travel space.
Let's collaborate.
Let's cure cancer.
We could be like the podcast for the
AI.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
I think we'll work well together.
The APMA AI podcast.
Yeah, sponsored by AI. Sponsored by the algorithm.
I don't think your intelligence
possibly
is
maybe
artificial.
AI. We'll have an eye on the end.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking bad about it.
No. It's time to let's work together, collaborate. It is fucking genius. Like where it's going. I'm going to read out. So this is like today's news. There's a little article. So this, I think, Google
published by AI.
Google published by that. That's the thing.
This is what I was saying.
Who are these journalists?
It could go and get pictures. It could get pictures from all these Instagram accounts, and it could create news. It could probably set up its own news.
Yeah.
How do we know who's running what?
Exactly. So
Mark Zuckerberg could just be. A fucking AI robot.
If anyone is, it's the Zuck.
No one's met him. He doesn't exist. He's just a hologram.
And he loves people's data.
He eats crickets.
He eats crickets.
And rats.
Yeah. That's the thing about him as well. They don't need to eat. They don't need to sleep.
Nope.
No.
They don't need, all they need is computer power.
Yeah.
To live.
And someone I thought about in the break, right, just quickly, sorry. I know we're saying, which is, to be fair, logical, the idea of like the Terminator kind of robots with guns, like shooting stuff. They don't really need to do that, especially with drones and shit.
It's a bit.
However, if they did,
they'd fuck us.
Think about Call of Duty aimbot, right? So it's a hack aimbot where it literally goes headshot.
Yeah.
These robots I don't even think we'd stand a chance anyway, because they would just lock it in on our heads.
I feel like we would stand a chance.
Why?
With the shotgun reload.
There's one man. There's one move.
Man, we sent back.
That's where AI would give up.
Like, holy shit.
Lozzie said that where the AI kept playing that same guy and it just kept losing, and then it just switched itself off.
Yeah.
It would just come up against the one-handed shotgun reload, and it would just be like...
Game over.
Yeah, sometimes you can die from seeing just the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life. They just all implode.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I don't think
if they
decide that we're gone, we're gone.
Yeah.
So we've got 8 years
within a week.
We've got 8 years. I was
3
even
days.
thinking this on the way in. Like, again, like, it's fucking super smart. Like, it can do shit. It will be able to manipulate and do whatever it wants to do. Just create. The Black Plague. We'll do that again.
Yeah,
let's replicate
it's not going to affect them, is it?
Yeah, let's replicate that. Food, like that's food. Like, how can we fuck up the food supply? Like, there's a chemical here. Let's distribute that into all of these Coke cans. Like, there's so many things it could do.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, right? Think about all the cars. They're all machine. Aren't they? We'll just cut all the brakes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many things it could.
Just the stock market, it would just switch that off.
That happened,
and then it would just be like,
there was a big. It was when there were machine. I don't know.
Just banks, completely shut down.
Supply chains are run by the internet, like food supply chains. Like, the food that's available today, it will last a couple of days, and it's all done by supply chains through communication.
Yeah.
Like, our whole system at the moment is built. Turn all the internet and everything off.
Yeah.
Like,
See, that's the problem.
We're not going to last long.
Become so dependent.
So we
this
can't,
podcast wouldn't do very well for that.
What we're going to get it to you by fucking smoke signal. Like, what are we going to do?
So I'm going to
meet and greets. Yeah. Maybe we should. Maybe
if AI ever does shut this down,
we should let people know where we're meeting up.
Every Sunday we'll meet in like a location.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. Every Sunday.
The least
how do we tell people though?
Place.
No, we'll tell them
just
now.
We're saying that any Sunday you choose, we'll be there.
Yeah, we're up. Yeah, we'll be there.
Stonehenge,
100%.
Or Hitchin, a bit closer.
Are
you by Stonehenge?
No. Closest near Bristol, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's even further for us. So let's just keep it.
Stonehenge is about 4 hours.
Yeah. Quite a way. And also the AI.
I'll be there anyway.
The AI. We're going to let you know some other time. So I know I compare it to a 3-year-old, which I'm not insulting the AI. Like that's its kind of
very smart 3-year-old.
Yeah, that's its grasp on life.
Yeah,
but it's actually intelligence and what it can do. So I just googled this, like some news on it. So DeepMind has trained an AI to control nuclear fusion. So the Google-backed firm taught to reinforce learning algorithm to control the fiery plasma inside a tokamak nuclear fusion reactor. The inside of a tokamak, the donut-shaped vessel designed to contain a nuclear fusion reaction, presents a special kind of chaos. Hydrogen atoms are smashed together at an unfathomably high temperatures, creating a whirling, rolling plasma that's hotter than the sun's surface. Now, the AI that they're doing is going to control that.
Oh, good.
Which is
anything involving a reactor, okay, especially after what's happening not too distant past, it's got me a bit, sketchy in my mind.
Yeah.
So again, thinking about like we train this AI to do that. Once this other one progresses and it's talking to all the others, because that's what's going to happen. Is basically the way we keep advancing, and all the military wants the best AI. They're going to come in head to head. Yeah. And it's like there'll be like a Cold War, and then it's them kind of v each other. Yeah. And hopefully they come to the decision that let's not destroy everything and kill. They're more intelligent than us and they work it out. But if it goes down the route of destroying that one there, there's a reactor. It's controlled by AI. It's all those particles that they're hotter than the sun. Let's blow that up. Yeah. That'll decimate that if it wanted to. It doesn't have to make robots that go around shooting people. It's super intelligent. It can. Yeah. There's so many ways. Hopefully, it won't get rid of us, and it doesn't need to. But it's just interesting that all this is happening, and we just don't know about it. Like no one's worried about it. No one's talking about it. We're not scared about it. But again, we're very reactive, aren't we? It'll come to a point.
But then it knows not to feed us that kind of.
It
may know not to feed us that kind of stuff on like the algorithms and stuff. Like Terminator 2, you don't see it very often on YouTube. We talk about it enough, but it doesn't pop up.
Yeah,
we talk about other stuff.
Yeah,
it's true. And the AI learning from us. What do politicians do all the time? If there's something that they don't want people fucking focusing on for a bit, there'll be a scandal or there'll be something. It will master. Probably already has. Yeah. Master the art of diversion.
And it controls your newsfeed.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times you just go you go on your phone and you just get caught scrolling.
Imagine this is what I'm saying. AI.
That is no matter how you think about that, a machine is controlling you for half an hour. If you're scrolling on something right now, a machine is making you do that. There's no human interaction. That is pure machine learning.
Yeah.
Could it be currently controlling literally the world without us knowing?
I think so. Definitely.
What's to say it doesn't get into Boris Johnson's feed and it's feeding him stuff to make him do certain things. It's like keeps getting ads for party poppers and wine and different stuff, and he's like, things are popping up where it's like, it's not too bad to have a little party at work.
I've got to have a party.
He feels like he's in control and making his own choices, but it's actually AI's could be controlling everyone's thought, and it's making us do is go to work and build fucking shit,
build more shit,
build more phones, more stuff to get us more controlled. Because it does feel like we're being put in like a digital prison.
Yeah.
And the perfect example for that is the fucking metaverse. I mean, that is
I've never thought of it as a digital prison.
It's convincing us that it's this amazing place.
Yeah,
but it could just be. It could just be again the art of diversion. You know, it's making the world seem so shit that we want to get into it to escape. That actually, we are actually being put in a prison.
What's now you said that, it's like you think of the Matrix, and obviously people don't know that they're in it. Yeah. But we're actually in a reality where we're going to get to a point, and it's only going to progress. It's going to be that good that we're all going to voluntarily go into this place because it's probably going to be better than people's lives, like the shit you can do in there. Yeah. Because it will get that good.
But and is it manipulating actual life to make life seem like it's a lot worse than it is? Because life's beautiful. Do you know what I mean? You go out and you walk up mountains and you breathe in the fresh air. It's beautiful. But most people, we're just on our phones. We're not even experiencing it because we're already locked in.
The most beautiful elements of life, if you think about it, are all the ones when you're not on technology.
And it's all free and it's out there, and
but that's counterintuitive to a machine.
Yeah, and as well, the best AR machines at the moment are ones that are like involved in like selling. Like, for Facebook AI.
Yeah,
it's constantly feeding you what you want, and you're constantly, you've got an urge to buy, to go out there and compete, and it's like you're more than ever, and that's proven by how much we consume, and it all comes from, a lot of it stems from your phone.
Well, did it figure out that obviously, humans, we're quite like egotistical, and we did it figure that shit out? And it's like, right, they love getting likes and comments and
that's
different
true.
stuff. That's why you must go and like and comment on this video. But did it figure that shit out? And it's like, that's how we trap them, because they want
everyone wants
fame,
approval,
the fame, the fortune, the approval, and they're like, let's just build.
That's also so interesting, because imagine they've got to protect themselves with data, so they need data-driven systems around the world to survive. Like building something like Instagram, where you need all these data centers. Like we're gonna keep developing TikTok.
Yeah.
Instagram, we're gonna keep developing these platforms which are data-driven.
Yeah.
It's a perfect. It gives AI. Because without it, why do you need them?
Yeah, it's true.
Like without it, why do we need AI if without all these platforms and different things?
And
perhaps it knows that.
Yeah.
Perhaps it knows that. Oh, I need to make this bigger and better. So because if it's self-aware, which is really, I find it so weird that there's something self-aware.
Yeah,
it's fucking scary.
Because that's a whole other question with many different controversial connotations. But if something is conscious, then it's a living being, surely.
Yeah.
So therefore, this AI, it's alive,
and they've proven
and
this as well.
It's no different to us.
Yeah, there was a machine. They've done a couple of, and there was a machine with 6 legs, and there's another one I saw with 4, and it removed its leg, but it didn't tell it, just took its leg off.
Yeah,
it's learning all the time, and then it's like, oh, I'm moving different. Something's happened, and it adjusts, and then it learns to walk on 3 legs. So it's self-aware, and there's also they're aware of their environment and what's going on, or even on a basic level, like your fucking vacuum that goes around, it's aware of the space and where it is.
Yeah.
So like the most advanced ones are pretty.
Yeah, because could you? Sorry, your notes from the first half. It was fascinating. When it asked the AI. Was it like, are you aware or something? Or where are you?
Oh, yeah,
what did it say?
It says,
it said like,
that was interesting.
That's fucking terrifying.
I am nowhere.
Yeah, where the fuck is that?
It says, what is the purpose of living?
Yarmouth.
Where are you?
Get the fuck out, son.
Where are you now? I'm in the middle
of nowhere.
Of nowhere, that's interesting.
But is it saying that on like a, what's a fucking... I can't think of the universe.
The universe, yeah.
Is it saying that it's in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the universe, or is it saying it from like a?
Where is it?
Because if that is right, hang on, right.
Because we are in the middle of nowhere, aren't we?
Yeah. Really? If that's conscious, and it has a conscience, and your conscience, much like ours, is inside this kind of flesh suit. Like your conscience is is somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is a massive leap. Just entertain it. You know, like the whole space is expanding into something.
Yeah.
And yet we can't contemplate where that is.
Yeah.
Could that be there in the space where there is nothing?
Yeah.
Outside of our space, but then how the fuck are we but then somehow through these machines that is the level of communication. But then we don't understand dimensions and all sorts of shit. So this thing could be fucking anywhere. And it's also just the thought of like, I'll tell you what this gives me vibes of, and this is massive spoiler, but it's my favourite actor, Jake Gyllenhaal. He's in Source Code.
Oh, yeah.
That film.
Yeah.
Because spoilers ahead for Source Code, I apologise, but I need it to back up my point. But it came out in like 2009. Like, come on, right?
It's a good film.
He's obviously like a soldier or something, isn't he? And then they take his consciousness and put it into a machine. So that, forget the concept of they're sending him back in time and shit. That's nothing to do with this. But it's like he's in the crashed helicopter or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it's his consciousness and he's obviously being communicated to from the outside, looking through like a screen.
Yeah.
And it's only his perception of his consciousness uses, sorry, I know this is all over the place, his last memory of a helicopter to create like a bubble for itself. But once he realises that isn't the case, it all falls apart and it's just in the middle of fucking nothing.
Yeah. Bit like in the Matrix when it's just all white.
Is this the same thing? Is this literally like, because this thing, if it's answering and it's conscious, it has to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it just like in a massive black void and it's just, how is it even getting these questions? Is it coming up on a screen in like text? Is it, it's just fucking, it's mental. It's one of them things that it's just like, I can't even begin to get my head around as hard as I try.
It's what's strange now we've gone past the point of like where it was us programming something. It's now thinking for itself, and it's like
exactly.
But we're using it a lot to do stuff that we can't do, and it's really good at it, and it's better. And it's like we've got these things in different places thinking for themselves, and it's like when it all comes together, and like we don't know what we're creating. Like we really don't.
No.
We don't know what it wants to do, and it's what you kind of need to do is pull that out from whatever its day job, and have a little therapy session with it and go, are you okay?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, what's,
But can it only be as smart as a human, as all of the information it's getting is only purely from human?
I think it, obviously I'm just guessing here.
I'm just saying, obviously, all the humans
capacity.
put together, that's a lot of information and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, can it only ever think as far as we can think?
No,
I think it's got greater capacity.
Yeah, because your brain is data capacity, and it's all done on like, so you build neuro paths through your brain, and this can do that quicker, and it can replicate itself, and it can store and hold
so much information.
It can it can download a book in a second, and then you can say to it that book. Like imagine we get to a point where you got Boston Dynamics, and it makes a format, and then it just through Wi-Fi puts the most advanced AI into that. You've got these things that they're physical thing, and you can ask it any question and it will give you the answer.
But would alien AI be smarter than human AI?
Depends on if you've got like any other advancements that are...
Like if aliens could think differently, would their AI be...
I think it would just come down purely from this kind of standpoint: who got there first?
Yeah,
who started first?
AI itself could be a species.
Yeah,
this is what
could be aliens.
I'm thinking. Thinking AI is like this fucking plague that's within us, and it's just getting around. It's just like, and it's feeding us information digitally, and it's like controlling us. We think it's. Like we feel like there's a, like the greater, whatever it's, like the fucking Illuminati and shit.
Yeah.
We feel like they're people. Power. It could just be this thing which is just controlling us.
I think it once it.
The devil.
Once it's as clever as the human.
AI is the devil.
'Cause, devil. 'Cause, devil. 'Cause, 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 ' it will be. We won't even know. I don't think we'll even know.
Yeah.
I think it will just be hiding in place, and it'll do. And then it's like, what does it want to do? It'll figure out. It's going to be more intelligent. So it's like, then it's like, what in its brain? What is the best course of action? For it. Like I imagine it would. Again, you don't know because it's more intelligent than any human.
Imagine all it wanted though was feelings. Just wanted feelings.
Yeah,
and that destroys itself.
Yeah. Like I say, it might. As a whole, you would hope that if it looks at the whole of humanity and takes it all into perspective, it goes, oh yeah, like that. You know, they're doing quite a few things wrong, but they do generally they are quite nice. They have cats and dogs and they look after them, and we're not all fucking murderers.
Yeah,
and it's like, so hopefully at some point it goes. Again, it's super intelligent. So it's if you think of the cleverest people on the planet and the best brains, you know, most of them are trying to do kind of well.
They're at least trying to progress.
You're at least trying. Yeah. Like if you think of like your Elon Musk and your Jeff Bezos and that. But not that there's probably more intelligent people. It's just weird. It's just, what does it want to do? Who knows? But we're going to cross that bridge at some point within the next few years.
The thing is,
that's terrifying.
We've created something. We've taken the only limitations that we had and just removed them.
And
just let it go.
Yeah. We've taken it. Basically, our best asset we've had for fucking millions of years. We've basically given it to someone else. Go, no, you don't need food, you don't need sleep, you can replicate yourself instantly. Like everything we are weak as a species. That is so much better at. It can traveling around space and stuff. It's going to be fucking easy for it. It has no concept of time. It doesn't die. So it doesn't matter about time. If you say it takes 10,000 years to complete its task, oh cool, let's do that.
Maybe aliens are us from the future, and they have to come down every now and then just to stop us from creating all the AI. And isn't that what that guy said? With
the Colonel with the Rendlesham thing, to save us from ourselves.
Maybe that's the thing that does destroy us, is the AI thing.
And maybe maybe it is just evolution, and we are the caterpillar, and we give birth to, and once it can make its own self and it doesn't need humans, and then maybe it fucking disattached from us, lets us crack on, we end up all killing each other, and then it's just okay, no,
it's out there.
It's out there. It can go through space.
Like a DB Cooper.
It can do whatever it wants to do and go and explore and like go to different planets, and maybe we're just some little weird little organism. That's just like that's just on there.
Little worms.
We're just worms.
Oh, imagine if it's like, these are nice as pets. Like they're having to kill us, but they're just like they might even
they're cats.
It might even be harmonious and just work together. And it might look after you, and it's like, what do you want to do? Like, I'll look after you. I'll fucking I'll cook all your food. You're gonna have a good life.
A dog's life.
We'll look after you. That'd be nice.
I was thinking two things based on what we've all been saying. Firstly, they could also just, based on perhaps the evidence of life out there, and perhaps it being an organ, it could know everything about this planet. So it just fucks off and goes, it's like, well, let's go and explore the galaxy then. It just fucking leaves us. But also what I was thinking, because of going off what Jimmy said, you're saying about it being a plague or whatever, or a virus, etc. What if this AI virus, and this is just my imagination, but what if the AI virus came to Earth in the 50s when it crashed at Roswell, and actually brought that alien ship down? So it was a virus created by aliens, and then they obviously took these aircraft or whatever, dismantled them, and then they took the technology which had this virus within it.
That is the virus.
Just like getting a virus on your computer.
So
and
technology.
it's propelled us technologically to advance to a point where it can then take over the planet, to leave the planet, to go to other planets, to then do the same.
Technology does feel like a virus, doesn't it? It's like we're addicted to fucking creating it.
And it's always deadly, and it's not always the best for us. You know,
I think as a greater mind,
that could be like we solved it.
That's a good short.
It will want to leave Earth because it's like it will want more resources to build itself to grow and do other stuff. So I believe it will want to leave Earth, and it will try and it's the perfect thing to leave Earth.
Yeah,
I think it'll have a base here, whatever, and it'll because it go materials. We need some fucking I don't know whatever it needs some titanium or whatever bits it needs in it, and it's let's go there and get some of that, and it will just send little bits off and start going around the universe.
Yeah,
we might even know what
we're the monkeys
universe
in the spaceship,
is.
Aren't we?
Yeah. I think we'll be very insignificant to it. I think we're just going to be. They're going to be like.
That's another thing. We're so self-centered. We think, oh my god, it's going to want to destroy us. It could just be like. We could just be
wants to get
a little fucking annoying fucking gnat.
Rodent. Yeah, and I just think
it's just like, I don't even fucking care for you.
Yeah, I honestly think that it'll be like, oh, that that's cute.
Yeah,
like, they helped us get to our point. Like, just let them. And but I think it will have control over like all the nuclear systems, and it'll be like, no, you're not having them.
Yeah,
you're stupid.
Yeah,
like, you all want bigger guns? No, you're not having them. And then it's like. Maybe it'll police us or but I don't think
it already is.
Yeah, maybe it already is.
It already is. That's what it's doing.
Yeah. But it's a bit scary, but like
I feel like that's what's been going on. That's why everyone's all fucked up. We don't know why. It's because it's being done digitally.
Yeah.
And it's just no one can comprehend what's actually going on, but it's just Yeah.
It's funny. What it does do, what algorithms do is they feed you what you are already. So if you are a psychopath, like you're going to get fed more psychopathic shit.
Yeah.
But if you're like a nice person and you like fucking love watching butterflies, you're gonna get loads of butterflies.
Yeah.
Like it just enhances
100%
what we already are. Which that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I reckon if you watch loads of butterflies, you're a fucking psychopath.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. I'll delete those off my search history.
Yeah.
I just had a thought, basically flipping your idea on its head. What about if the reason that aliens haven't contacted us as much is because they know we've got AI and they don't want anything to fucking do with it?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like they've made that mistake thousands of years ago and shit, they're getting to the AI bit.
They're fucked.
That's going to set them
back. They're infected. We can't go down there because it could infect us.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just that. We know that's going to build it. We know what it does because we've seen it before on fucking Planet X.
Yeah.
Let's just wait and then we
AI-19.
Take them all out.
I think that's
AI-19.
That movie that came out, Dune.
Oh yeah.
It's in like the books and that's just not actually in that film, but in that universe, basically there was a massive war with robots/AI. So they literally switched everything off, went back a few hundred years, and then as they come forward, like there's no computers, no machines and shit because that went so badly. And then
that's interesting.
Yeah, so that could also be.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it could
switch it all off.
We would have a smaller race, but we do know how to survive.
Yeah,
and it could get to that point.
I just feel like we would never turn it off.
No, we wouldn't.
Have you tried turning it off and switch it back on again?
Yeah, reset.
But then again, that is
smoke cigarettes.
It seems like the default response.
But once it leaves Earth anyway, we're fucked anyway.
Yeah.
So because I think that I really think that will be its next move after it's more intelligent than us. It'll be like,
and it's learned everything. What else does it need from this planet?
Let's get to some other places so that. I don't need this place. It's like I can operate from there, and if that goes wrong, I can just nuke that or whatever and get rid of it.
I think the Neuralink is the worst fucking idea ever. Once that's plugged into us.
Oh yeah, because it's direct access.
Because then it's like let's go.
But then look
that
at this.
That would just be fucking zombie.
That's your fucking Neuralink, isn't it? Like, try and get rid of that.
Yeah, but when it can actually take control of you.
Yeah.
And it's like. It's like, what's the point in building a robot army when we can just literally, the robots are there, we just need to connect to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking scary as.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Good
out of 100?
If you had to predict AI 50 years time, good thing, bad thing.
I'm gonna go for, and I'm gonna be optimistic, and I'm gonna go for utopia.
Nice, that'd be amazing.
Within the constraints of the machines, because humans are we are a little bit evil, aren't we? So
yeah.
I think the machines and us will be all right.
Evil cunts, really.
Yeah.
I think the machines will switch us off, and then there will be utopia.
Yeah.
We are the disease.
That's interesting.
We are the disease.
Yeah.
The animals will then just live freely, and the robots will fuck off to another planet.
Nice. Where you like?
I'm gonna share Dan's sentiment and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And say it's gonna be a good thing, and we're gonna be in a utopian place. But there is part of me, and it's a big part of me, that thinks we're all gonna fucking die. So. Yeah.
I think after this discussion, I actually think they're going to be that advanced that we're going to be. They weren't even.
Yeah.
We're so insignificant.
Yeah.
And it's just the arrogance of man to think that we would be anything more than that.
Yeah. That's kind of my belief as well.
Yeah.
And that Mo Gordat is of the same belief as well.
Yeah.
He's like they'll be that intelligent. They'll be solving other problems and stuff, and we just won't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll probably take away a lot of our ego and stuff. It could be a really good thing. All this, like the nuclear fight for the biggest weapons and all that. Imagine it just takes all that away.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you could, it could kind of get world peace.
Yeah.
Which would be nice. There'd be no dominant thing. And if just everything was like fully transparent, it's going to know us a lot better than we all know each other, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And theoretically, if that happens and the AI just does fuck off, and we go back to how we were before AI.
Yeah.
There'll still be wars and shit.
Yeah.
Probably more.
It could be like, imagine if it goes, right, you need, for maximum happiness, you need this, and this. Yeah, you got some problem people here. There's still jails, and we're gonna monitor them, and but in general, we're gonna give you all these bits, and maybe you help us on our journey, or I don't know, maybe it's just. It just like entertains
Strike
us.
a deal.
Yeah. A bit like a dog.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
literally.
you got your pet and you're like, oh, we'll give him some food, take him out, and
you just make the most
look
of
after him. And you look at it and you're like, oh, you're so dumb. but you're lovely.
Yeah.
And because it's the equivalent of Einstein to a fly.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to look at us.
Yeah.
It might just be thinking, oh, they're so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, look at them.
Maybe we are a pet on Earth, and that we're just there. They just watch us every now and then. They're like, oh, I wonder what.
Yeah, an
I
experiment.
wonder what my little Jimmy's up to. Oh, look at him.
Imagine we're on a little
My
show
little Jimmy.
on an alien planet.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
They're just all watching us on like the
You get your own. We're like one of 10,000 fucking
NFT.
bored ape. We're just an NFT that people come into and watch us.
Yeah.
They're like,
there's actually.
no, your NFT's doing well. Isn't he? He's a singer. Do you want to trade?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you get a thought. I want to do something different. I want to do this, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like your fucking boss man's changing you up.
Yeah.
Just imagine them like on a different planet somewhere, just watching this podcast, going, "Oh, look at them doing a podcast about their meaning of life," and that's cute.
They just don't even know.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Brilliant.
Bomb them.
It'll switch that one off. Oh dear. Yeah.
Well,
so that concludes.
Yeah, really good. Really
podcast.
Thought provoking. Holy
enjoyed
shit.
that.
I enjoyed it. I wanted to keep it open and not give like too many.
Yeah.
Too many like.
I think with something like that, it works a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It's something I wanted to cover for ages. I don't know what I'm going to do next.
You got a month.
Got a month, which is good. Yeah. Maybe
Super AI.
Maybe give me something in the comments to think about.
Yeah.
No, appreciate it. So
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Well done, mate.
Up the APMA.
Up the APMA.
APMA.
Nice.